Hello everybody, it's Sarah, and today I thought I'd do a cover comparison video. I have seen this kind of video all over BookTube for the last 1 or 2 months, I think, and most people compared the UK covers to the US covers. So since I am from Austria, I'm not going to compare the UK to the US edition, but I'm going to compare whichever edition of the English book I own to the German edition. In this video, I will try not to let myself be influenced too much by nostalgia, because some of those books I have owned for a pretty long time, and those are just the editions that belong to those books, and there's no other editions out there for me, but I'll try. I won't always manage, but I'll try. The first book I'm going to compare is everybody's favorite childhood memory, and that is, of course, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. This is the UK edition. You can see there is the Hogwarts Express and Harry Potter looking confused. It's nice and red. The back is blue and there's Dumbledore. So, all in all, I really like this edition. I think it captures the essence of the story, and it's really fun. And then here I have the German edition, and I already have to break my rule to not be influenced by nostalgia, because this is the editions that I read when I was a child. This is the editions that I have owned since I was 6 years old, and honestly, I just love the art. I think the feel from this cover is very different from this one. This is more fun and whimsical, while in this one I feel there's a bit more tension, especially in the way Harry looks. The first point definitely goes to the German edition. Next I have the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. I don't have the first book with me, so you have to deal with the second book, but the scheme for all of Brandon Sanderson's books is always the same in this edition. You have a kind of black and white design on the front with those colored foggy things. And I really like this edition. I love it. On the other hand, with the German edition, you have this grayish green. You have the silhouette of this guy holding the sword, and just, I don't think that it's that exciting, honestly, the cover. And what I love about this cover and this edition in particular is that if you buy books in this edition by Brandon Sanderson, they will all match on your bookshelf no matter the series. So I have to give this point to the UK edition, even though I don't think the German edition is ugly at all. Next I have the Codex Alera series by Jim Butcher. In the, I think, US edition, you have this really weird purpley green cover of this guy fighting some thunderstorms or something. I don't know. I guess it's an okay cover, but honestly I really don't like it. I think as far as fantasy covers go, this is pretty ugly, I would say. On the other hand, that might be because I just think the German covers are absolutely beautiful. They are all very simple and grey, and each one has a design of an elemental on the cover. Here it's a tree in form of a stag. Also, can you argue with this? Look how beautiful they look on a shelf. So this point is just no contest at all. It goes to the German cover. Then a fantasy classic by now, A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. This is the English cover. I think it's the same for US and UK. I think there's really nothing wrong with this cover, but at the same time I also don't think it's special. Then you have the German covers. I found this nice little picture with a lot of them, and you can see the German covers are kind of this parchment-ish cover, and they all have, what do you call it, like the family signs. I have been thinking about this for the last 2 hours and I just can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. And I really like those covers. I like those covers a lot more than these, actually. But the only thing that I do not like about A Song of Ice and Fire in German is that every book is split into 2 books. And okay, I know that even in English 2 of the books are split into 2 books, so I guess it's not a big deal. So I spent €8 on this nice mass market paperback edition of A Song of Ice and Fire. For the German ones, you have to spend €16 per book. So you have to buy 2 books, which means you already pay double the price. And then you also have to pay double the price for each book. So you have to pay 4 times as much as I paid for this. It's just money grabbing and unnecessary. So now that was my frustration, but nonetheless this point goes to the German cover. Next I have Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. I thought I'd throw a German book in here as well, because of course Cornelia Funke is German. And I'm not sure if I like this cover. It seems kind of boring. I mean, you have like the book at the bottom, and you have the lizard, and you have the fire, which kind of is a part of the story. But I still think the cover is kind of boring. But again, I might be a bit prejudiced, because look at this gorgeous cover. Honestly, the Inkheart books in German have probably the most beautiful covers I have ever seen. I love those covers. Both of the covers are red, which I think is quite nice, but then you have all of those beautiful designed letters. You have Gwen here, you have a book in the middle, then this font is just also beautiful. I don't know right now what the font is for the English cover. Honestly, those are some of my favorite covers of all time, so just for that reason I'm going to give this book 2 points, because I'm making the rules. Who would I be if I didn't also compare City of Bones by Cassandra Clare? This cover is fucking ugly. I do not even know why I picked it up anymore. It's not so much what is on the cover as the color. It's like this neon metallic yellow green. What is this color? It's so ugly. And then I have here the German cover. I don't know, I'm not too much of a fan of this cover either, but if I'm just looking at the covers and ignore the nostalgia with this book, I would say I like this cover a bit more. I think it fits the story more. I just also feel that I would rather pick up this book than this book if I were at a bookstore. Lastly, I of course couldn't do this video without comparing the covers of my favorite series of all time, The Black Jewels. And here I have the US covers. I mean, they're not too ugly, but I don't think anybody likes real people on their covers. I'm not a fan of those covers. And these are the German covers. I'm not a fan of them either. I think it looks a bit too much like high fantasy meets 50 Shades of Grey for me to really like the covers. But honestly, compared to those covers, I take them any day. I think these at least have some character to them. These are just something. But for the Black Jewels, I decided also to compare the bind-up of the first 3 books. I love this cover. There's just nothing wrong with this cover. You have the dragon, you have the detail. It's beautiful. You have the jewels. And then this is the German cover. Do you have to say anything about this? It wouldn't be wrong if it were some kind of, I don't know, vampire book, but when I was in one of my vampire phases, actually this book was like lying on one of the tables at my bookstore, and I thought it looked interesting. It looked like the type of book that I was into reading at the moment. And I didn't read the title, I just looked at it, and then I read the title and I was just like, what? No, you can't do that to me. I was so shocked when I found out that that was the Black Jewels. It was horrible. So there the point definitely goes to the English edition. And that was it for all of my comparisons. Tell me in the comments down below which of the covers did you prefer. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. All the links to my social media are in the description box down below, so go and check those out and friend me or follow me or whatever else you can do on there. And I hope I'll see you soon. Kiss kiss!